Insider presents Geek Speak with Matthew Harris and Meredith Loughran. We cover entertainment, news, and tech with special guest appearances. So sit back and enjoy as we geek out together right now.
Hey you guys, and welcome to Geek Speak. I am Meredith Loughran, and this is my co-host, Matthew Harris. Tonight
the bearded wonder.
The bearded wonder. Oh, bearded one. Tonight is, we're a little bit nervous right now because I've been dealing with storms, and it wasn't until later on in the day, so my electricity has been on and off, and I'm just like, oh my God, what a shit show this could possibly be. And we are expecting a guest to pop in at any moment. But in the meantime, what I wanted to do was let you know about Indie Vent. It's happening this weekend. Oh, well, actually, before I even talk about that, Matthew, you want to kind of introduce yourself and let people know about some of your other shows?
Well, everyone knows me from the Geek Speak show. This is our first Monday night show. We usually are on Thursdays. We're still on Thursdays, but there is a reason that we're on tonight. And as soon as everything gets rolling, then we'll reveal that in case you've missed it on the shows last week where we revealed what was happening tonight. But I'm from geekinsider.com. I'm the managing editor and sometimes writer. I don't get to write as much as I like to, but I am the one that runs the show over there. I've been there for years. I fell in love with the site. And so I've just been helping it grow for the last year. Brought you on, brought Alan Daniel on. And we've just been having a great time. And then we started these podcasts. I also have my Wednesday night show. It's at 8 o'clock Eastern. It's geeky, cheeky, and downright freaky. Last week, we had Pastor Luke Stone on, and we talked about the Mandela effect and Bible. Mandela effect changes to the Bible.
And a little bit of ancient aliens too, right?
Yes. And actually, I'm going to have Luke back on a future show. Not this week, but I think probably next week. Or the week after, and we're going to discuss the Mandela effect more in depth because I revealed some to him that he just was not aware of, and that he shares, that he has the same incorrect memory. But yeah, so that's the show that we got. We've got other shows planned in the future as well. We have the Not So Happy Hour, which you can subscribe to on YouTube. It's nothing really there yet except just like one little show because we've been busy on this stuff, in which again we'll reveal what's happening tonight here momentarily. Just as soon as we get the thumbs up that yes, it's a go, we'll reveal what's up. And then Meredith, of course, has her stuff going on. But geekinsider.com, folks, that's the place to watch. And especially subscribe to the YouTube channel because that's where all the shows are. You can get the Monday and Thursday editions of Geek Speak, the Wednesday edition of Geeky Cheeky and Downright Freaky. And then there's, like I said, there's other shows that are coming. We also have Nevermind the Furthermore. We've got the Comic Book Advocates that are on our network. And so there's a lot of shows that you can get to just by going to our YouTube. And that's just look up Geek Insider and you'll find us. And make sure you subscribe, damn it. But anyway, that was a very long intro to me because most of these people know me. And unless we get the thumbs up, then there might be a lot of people that didn't know me.
Hey, Russell, glad that you could join us. So this is a Monday episode, and we are going to be going live on Mondays from now on. And we're also going to be keeping our Thursday spot and, keeping our YouTube channel active and things. So, but I wanted to kind of give a teaser to you guys, just a tiny bit of one to see what we're kind of up to. You ready for this?
Oh, you got it. I love that freaking spot. I really do.
I do too. I do too. So Indie Volt Radio, guys, and we are waiting for a special guest from Indie Volt to pop in here if he's tuning in.
And if he's already working something behind the scenes, and we are live on Indie Volt, because that is the big reveal, folks, is that we're going live on Indie Volt every Monday night at 8 o'clock Eastern. And so if you are tuned in from around there, we can't see your chats yet because Varian is working his magic in the background and he's supposed to be joining us. But we want to welcome y'all and thank y'all for tuning in. I know usually you have some music going right now, and we have just kind of taken over this spot. And normally we will have very special guests. If you go into YouTube and you look at our library of interviews, we've had guests from all over. We love comic books, of course. We love the independent creators. We've had a lot of the same guests that you've heard on Indie Volt Radio on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9. But we also delve into independent movies. We have had directors and actors and actresses, and the list goes on of folks that we've interviewed. And we've got a lot that are in the pipeline, so to speak. And we've fostered a lot of great relationships. We have a really good relationship going with Full Moon Features. I'm crossing my fingers. We've been told it's going to happen, and someday soon we are going to have Charles Band on here. If you don't know who Charles Band is, I pity the fool. I pity the fool. But so we've got a lot of stuff planned, and if we're not live on Indie Volt yet, well, then you folks that are tuned in on our YouTube or our Facebooks, you've just got a little bit of inside information that we are going live. And that's not even where it stops. Of course, this show is also going to be rebroadcast on our podcast channel. So you can get that anywhere on iHeartRadio and Pandora,
Google Play,
Amazon, all of that.
Have we been accepted on Pandora?
Oh, no, excuse me. That has been pending forever and a day. But iHeartRadio, Amazon, all of that. And then, of course, another big part is we're not there yet, but the shows are coming. The shows that if you're listening to this on the podcast, you can catch the video portion on our YouTube. But now you will also be able to catch it on Roku, on the Indie Volt channel on Roku.
They're going to be adding us to the lineup, which is really cool.
Yeah,
which is why I've been kind of behind the scenes cleaning up our intros and our outros so that there's a consistent look, because, in the few months that we've been putting together these shows, and we've got a really good catalog of shows and interviews and things, but we've been kind of messing around with the different headers. What do we call them? What do we do? And quite honestly, it's all Geek Speak. It's all Geek Speak.
It is.
And
except for my show. My show is definitely different.
Yeah, your show is definitely the geeky, cheeky, and downright freaky is definitely an interesting show. But something that I think a lot of people would be interested in, only because it's like mind-bending things. I mean, you had you were talking about sky snakes the one day. The Mandela effect and things that I swear I'm like, no, you're wrong.
Well, one of my favorite reactions from you were actually backstage when I showed the double slit experiment.
Yeah.
And how the atoms react differently considering whether we're watching or not.
Oh my God. If you guys missed that, you have to watch it. That was
one of the first shows. I was freaked
out. I was like, are you kidding me? Like seriously, like it knows that you're watching and it behaved differently.
Yep. And it is mind blowing. And that's the thing, folks, is that's where I'm trying to take the show. I know that there are a ton of shows out there and articles that discuss the Mandela effect and all of this. And I never claim to bring anything new to the table. I just try to bring stuff out to people that may not have encountered it before, and then discuss it in a real way because of someone that's affected by it.
Hey, Paul! Who's this Paul guy?
I went to high school with Paul.
All right, so we can do that to him too.
Yep, definitely. give me a dip, Paul, and right back at you. And there's Varian there.
Well, I want to give a shout out to Terry McIver. We were very fortunate today with the podcast I helped out with to have 4 separate but continuous interviews with the awesome William Sadler. That's pretty cool. We're going to bring Varian in.
When I first read that, I thought it said William Shatner.
I
thought that he really scored.
Grant, you're in the hot seat tonight. You are our special guest.
Yeah, I you guys hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, I was having audio issues earlier, but yeah, I'm sorry I'm a little bit late too. My time got messed around, but I'm here. Yeah, I'm in the hot seat. I've been fielding questions all day. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? Now is your opportunity to talk about why you are in the hot seat because, and we just released an article for you, kind of a press release, kind of an article and a shout out to Indie Volt Radio, but you stepped down as editor-in-chief at Indie Volt Radio.
Yeah.
IndieVolt.com, right?
IndieVolt.com, yeah. I stepped down. It gave me an opportunity to focus on something I've been working on for longer than Indie Volt. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that I was working on this before Indie Volt. Now that this is ready to be unveiled, I'm like, I need to kind of get laser focused on it, and the same way I was of Indie Volt for so long, and just focus on it and build it and grow it. And the response so far today has been pretty cool. I stepped down from Indie Volt, from IndieVolt.com editor-in-chief. I'm going to be naming a successor very soon. And who's going to take over that position as editor-in-chief. I am still, as of now, going to be on, co-hosting the shows. Gotcha. I still will be. I'm still the founder of the company. They haven't ousted me yet. They haven't.
You're not stepping away from Indie Volt LLC. Basically.
Right. They haven't Steve Jobs me yet.
Man. That's one of those things that has just always got me is like, man, how the hell is somebody going to vote you out your own company? Mm-hmm. That's just got to be an unwritten rule that can't happen.
It's I can understand how it can happen. I don't agree with it, right? But I definitely understand how it can happen. I got some stock in some companies, very little, but sometimes I'm looking. I'm like, you know what? We need to have a board meeting. We need to have a board meeting. I want whoever is in charge. And I know someone else. I won't put them on the hot seat, but we became friends, which was shocking. The first, I want to say the first millionaire I've ever been friends with, and he got voted out of his own company. He got removed. Wow. I mean, he got a very nice golden parachute,
right?
But he got removed, and it happens. After a while, they want new leadership. That's not what happened in the situation. That's not. I'm still in charge, but I did it to start Liberty, which is a distribution company for independent comics.
There you go. What?
Yeah. I showed off the box on a live stream I just did because people were asking questions like, what the hell is Liberty? And this is the box. This is a standard box. This is the standard box that we ship to people. This is actually what goes in the mail. And I was showing off the how we ship the books. And as you can see, nice sturdy box. Crush limit was 150 to 190, I believe, was the crush limit on the box. Oh, wow. I wanted to have a box that would withstand getting beat up.
Definitely.
By the poster. This changes things, one of our slogans.
Nice.
I felt it was very appropriate. Now, one of the distributors of the comics, I've volunteered, and I'm normally a loiter at a couple of comic stores, and I've seen the way the books come in, and we're lucky they come in good condition at all. But I noticed they would just take like a piece of paper, your invoice, and throw it in the box. I felt that was kind of. I mean, these people are paying you good money. treat the invoice with a little more respect. That's their receipt.
Right.
You know, that's some people use the invoice to check to make sure they got everything they're supposed to get. So what you'll notice, we don't have it in this box, but we do have it in one of the other ones. I should have grabbed that. But the invoices go here in this little flip here. And every invoice is, you know, it's what you ordered, which will be here, because we're aiming for 100% fill rate on everything the first time out, as well as a card. You are going to get tired of getting cards with your representative's information on it. You're gonna get tired of it, because my thing is, I always want to have a representative's card or number, so if there's ever a problem, I can call. I'd rather have too many than have to search for that one that I can't find. So,
well, you know, the thing is, Varian, I just have to jump in here because these days, customer service is a freaking dead art. It just really is. You know, first, years ago, companies started outsourcing overseas, and they just took the lowest bidder, and it didn't matter, you know, how frustrated you got. And, you know, like these days, I used to work for Xbox, man, for customer support. I was a manager. And now you try to call Xbox support, because I had a deal the other day. They were supposed to charge me $9.99 for something. They charged me $99.99 for it. Ooh. It's all computerized. You cannot call the 1-800 for my Xbox anymore and get a live person like you did. It's been a while, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And but still, you know, customer service has just gone to the wayside. You go into any convenience store or retail store these days, and it's mainly the dilligaff. You know, do I look like I give a fuck?
Yeah.
And so it's beautiful seeing that you guys are thinking first and foremost of customer satisfaction.
It's you're right. It's a dead art. I've discovered that as I've been training. We just want to get people to be I know how it is to be on the other side of that line, you know, trying to make someone understand, hey, this isn't right. So bubble wrap for us was a must. Then Varian kicked in. I said, hey, you know, our colors for Indie Vote are red, white, and blue. Not for Indie Vote, I'm sorry, for Liberty, red, white, and blue. We need blue bubble wrap. So I have to track down blue bubble wrap. Luckily I found it. But yeah.
Now, how much more was it, Varian? Admit it.
It wasn't that much more. It wasn't that much more. I was a little unhappy that they were big bubbles, but I figured, whatever. I'll take the big bubbles. But one of the interesting things was that what people have really been excited about was that so all the books come from Liberty, bagged and boarded.
Oh,
they all come back.
Beautiful.
And you have your own special boards, right?
Yeah. They're all custom bagged and boarded. We call that from ship to shelf. What that's going to do for you is that you check your invoice, have around the shelf, you drop in the pull. This is going to save time. And this is why I spoke to retailers for 4 years. This is why I spoke to other publishers besides myself for 4 years and other creators. I wanted to know what they wanted. And you know, and some things they didn't want, some things they didn't want, but some things I wanted. But I want to make sure we're providing the best service. That's at no extra charge. Now, I just said on another show, on a little live stream I did, that if you don't want your books bagged and boarded, we won't do it. But you know,
who wouldn't want them bagged and boarded?
Yeah. There might be somebody that says, no, I don't want them bagged and boarded, because some stores prefer for their readers to be able to come in and flip through the book, and I understand that.
Right.
So I understand that, but so our object is to get the books to you though in the best condition that we possibly can. I just don't want you to get a box of books that, you know, the carrier may have mistreated.
Right.
And that's not targeted to like an individual sale like me or Matthew. That is going to stores. Right.
This is all going to stores. This is going to stores, and we have bigger boxes than this. We have some larger ones, but they're still treated with the same care. They're wrapped and, you know, make sure that, you know, they're not going to be banged around and beat up when they get out to you. But yeah, just the stores. That's what Liberty distribution is for: stores and retailers, brick and mortar retailers.
Yeah,
Now,
and it takes a while for you to foster those relationships because there are a lot of places that do not want to talk to indie creators or necessarily. Maybe they have a couple of titles for indie books,
Mhm.
but it's not a main focus for them. How are you foster? Well, I don't want trade secrets or anything like
Mhm.
that, but you said that you've been working on this since before Indie Vault.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, these are long-term relationships that you're trying to create.
Yeah, we started this in well, I say we, but it was me and another a friend of mine, and he and I just could not he couldn't we couldn't see eye to eye on some things. Not that he was a bad guy, it was just that there were some formula problems with the infrastructure, because what I wanted to build it's like Anyone was a strong infrastructure that the company could maintain, and basically because if you build a strong foundation, you got nothing to worry about. The house will stand, and that's what I took a long time to build. But when you talk about those relationships, and a lot of those were boosted by the fact that we had with Indie Vault talking to so many different creators and store owners, and just learning what they wanted, and learning who really loves this business, because there are a few people who just want a quick dollar. They want that movie deal. They don't really care about how their books are on store shelves. And I just want to be able to get some books on store shelves, and I want to be able to help the comic shops. The one thing I'm kicking myself about is that I couldn't do this early. I couldn't do this before the current situation,
the pandemic. I guess.
Yeah, because
unfortunately, so many stores, mom and pop stores, have gone under since then.
Right. Yeah, I have a list. I can't tell you how I got it, but I have a list of every comic shop in America. And I will tell you this, it's a small book. It was not a small book. It's a lot less pages than you would consider. I mean, at a 12 size font, I have the store name, the address, the phone number. There's about 8 or 9 stores per sheet. And, I could fit it in a, Trapper Keeper, which is, a regular standard size. It's not bursting open. But ever since the pandemic, I know that some of those stores aren't there anymore. I know that.
And that's a far cry from the 90s when I got into comics, and there was a comic book store in every small town, let alone the big cities you went into. There were numerous ones. Everybody had weekend sidewalk sales where you could get, 25-cent comics on, but you had to dig through the damn long boxes to find what you wanted. But that was also back when a lot of the indie comics were starting to make some headway, and Varian, on your Indie Vault website, I went there just yesterday, and you guys had a freaking story on there that I kicked myself that I missed, and it's about Bill Tucci, or I always call him the wrong thing, Tucci, with She. I actually have a She tattoo, man. From 25 years ago. I had a lithograph that I got because I bought the first 3 from a comic book insert, and because I just loved the concept. And so I had the first 3, and the second and third one I think came with lithographs, and one of them I got as a tattoo from a really kick-ass artist in Dallas. And I even had talked to Billy about it at one time, and my whole collection got ripped off. And so I had tried to contact him to see if he still had one of those lithographs, because I had the effing tattoo, but he didn't. It was one of those limited things. But then I saw that it was coming back. She is coming back, Return of the Warrior. And I went on there, and it was still available. And so I freaking chipped in really quick.
Yeah.
But that was the thing that I really loved, Varian, about, that you guys are really along the same lines as we are, just loving the indie comics and really pushing that in. And that's how we came together. And I have some other questions about how this Liberty came about to begin with. But One first thing I got to ask, because we're kind of dying to know, are we out live on Indie Volt Radio tonight?
We are. I had that set up, so you're good. Now, yeah. So you are live right now, not in the United States, but you are live everywhere else. So.
Gotcha. Well, and we had said hi to folks earlier, and we just weren't sure. You know, we were waiting for you to show up as the guest, and so we were tentative on what was going on. But yes, so folks, if you're just joining us, we've got Varian Grant here, who is the main man behind Indie Volt Radio as well as Liberty, but we are Geek Speak. Meredith and I are the co-host of Geek Speak, and going forward, we will be here on Monday nights at 7:00. That's Central, 8:00 Eastern. And if you're elsewhere, because I'm giving you U.S. times, and he just said we're not having anyone in the U.S., you'll have to do the math there on the time frames. But we have a lot of guests. We have a library on our YouTube. If you go in and just look up Geek Insider, you will find a library of well over 100 videos where we've got interviews with folks from the movie industry, comic books, music, and that's quickly becoming one of my favorite segments. Yeah. But Varian, how many listeners do we have right now?
Right now, you guys are coasting along with 41,800, and it is actually 821 just moved. So you guys are actually doing pretty well. Australia and Ireland.
All right. Well, hello, Australia and Ireland. And you know what? We have to take a quick little break, and we'll be back with Varian Grant from Indie Volt Radio and
you want me to get it? You got it.
Liberty Entertainment Distribution Group.
That's right.
Right.
Awesome. I wasn't going to try it because I knew I was going to butcher it. I just kept saying Liberty.
And when you come back from the break, I'll tell you why it has that name, too.
All right, cool.
All right, we'll be right back.
Check it out. MobileEdge.com has award-winning products with innovative features and contemporary, edgy designs that empower you to look sharp and travel smart with your mobile tech. Your beloved, not to mention expensive gaming gear and mobile tech devices are an extension of you, so give them the protection and style they deserve wherever you go. Find them at MobileEdge.com and protect your tech with Mobile Edge. Bring it on. Hey Geek Insiders, Mobile Edge has a special coupon code for our dedicated listeners. Get 25% off your Mobile Edge gear using coupon code GEEK25. That's GEEK25. Geek out.
And we're back with Varian Grant. Hi, Phil Loughran. That is Demon Phil from Demon Nation. And yes, butt beard. That is the magic word that will not leave me alone. Go to my grave with that one.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I hope it continues on forever and ever. And we've got to continue it on the next indie event, which, as we were saying earlier, is this coming weekend. Y'all can check out Indie Event, INDEEVENT.com.
There we go. Up there. If anybody, oops, let me take down that last comment here so people can see. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so that QR code is going to take you directly to the website so that you can get all the information, the FAQs on how the indie event came to be, what's with the double E in indie. Thank you, Rob Anderson. And it has the schedule of events. Plus, we've got Sunday, which is going to be a book selling event. And I really hope people are paying attention because this is an opportunity to do some direct selling. On that note, I'm just going to pull this card back down and get back to Varian.
Yep. So Varian, you were going to tell us, A, how did it get the name? And then B, how did you decide to start doing this company to begin with?
Well, originally, you guys will. It's thank God. I think it's been scrubbed from the internet now. But originally, the idea was it was going to be called Alley Cat Distribution. My life may remember that. It was
somebody find the Wayback Machine and look for it.
Yeah, it was going to be Alley Cat Distribution, and it was a lot of the same concept, but also it was also not the same concept. And it was I I called it Alley Cat because of Artist Alley. I thought that would be cool to put it. And we had a cat mascot, and it was very weird. But that didn't go anywhere. I don't even think that got past me doing some like really weak runs at a website, trying to put it together. Thankfully, I took it down and, put my notes back in my pocket. But the reason why I call Liberty is because Independence, Liberty, thought it was kind of cool.
Right.
But the original name was Liberty Independent Entertainment Distribution. And I said, well, that's a long name to type in. I'm just gonna yeah. And the definition it was lied, Lied. And I said, oh no, we can't call it that. So I'm like, we're gonna have to lose the word independent out of there and just really just target that, that particular group. And so it became Liberty Entertainment Distribution Group. And nobody ever says the group, they just kind of forget that. But .us is because it just makes sense for us to just ship in the US right now. We do have a shipping partner in Canada that has come on, but and the way it started was, again, just me wanting to get books in stores. I spoke to a very well-known comic shop owner who he told me, I remember one day we were sitting in his store here in Michigan. He doesn't have that store any longer, but he was, we would go in the store, we'd hang out even after it was closed. And he said, man, I would carry more indie books, but I do not like dealing with all of these eclectic and bizarre curators calling every other day. Some want their books back, they get mad, they get upset with you. He says, but he bought my books and he never turned anybody down as far as I can tell. I'm sure he did, but he bought mine. And that is kind of what planted the seed that, they would carry these books if they just had one source to get them from. Right. And so with Liberty, that's what I tried to do. And that's what, and I know Meredith said don't give away the sauce right now, but I can tell you a couple of things about what we do and how it works. It's kind of boring to some people. For most, it's not. But if you guys want to hear it, I'll be. I know you got some.
But like
hey,
I said,
this is Geek Insider. We want the inside info.
But we don't want you giving away the secret sauce either, Varian.
Yeah, we don't want you selling it.
So I didn't want to talk over your comments, so I didn't know if I.
No.
So one of the things that we do in the in the vendor dashboard, which is for publishers, when you sign into your account, you get a lot of information. I'm big on information. I'm big on giving stats and analytics. So when you sign to your dashboard, you see all of the products that you have available on Liberty Distribution Group, because we have because the vendors or the retailers can shop our online catalog, and currently we're going to be shipping out a quarterly printed catalog as well to those stores. So they'll get a printed catalog as well, which they can order from. But when you log into the dashboard, you're going to see every item that you have and if it's sold, and how much that you are owed. You can then click. You can if you say you've got $60 sitting there you want. You click that $60. Say I like my money. Within 24 hours, we're gonna make sure you get it if it's an online payment, because you can set up how you want to get paid. The PayPal, check a money order. Obviously, check a money order. I gotta drop that in the mail. It's got to get to you. But the online payments, I think it's within 24 hours. We'll have that to you, if not sooner.
Is there a minimum?
No, we're not currently.
Now, I got to add. Oh, well, go ahead, and then I got a question.
Okay, so also because I'm big on numbers, we have a map there. You can see how your book is doing state to state. As a creator, as a publisher, that's very important to me, because that lets me know where I need to be spending my convention dollar at. Do I need to be out in California? Do I need to be in Florida? Do I need to be in New York? That's why we do that. There's a couple other little details we put in there too, all to help.
Speaking to that, so when you're seeing those convention, let's just say those numbers, and let's just say you're doing really well in New York, but you're doing really terrible in California, where would you spend your convention dollars?
Good question.
I personally will go where I'm doing horrible at. I want to know why.
That's what I was thinking. Thinking.
Yeah, I got to go out there. I got to find out what's going on. Do they not know me? Or my product's not resonating out there? That's just what I would do. And I'd probably do it 2 or 3 times. Like, I am dedicated to finally breaking Indiana. with Last Call Comics. We have never had a good show in Indiana. So it's.
Do you have any feedback as to why?
No idea. I can't figure it out. I call it the curse of Indiana. And every time there's a convention in Indiana, my wife is like, "Oh gosh, here we go," and it doesn't matter. No, I was like, "Oh, it's a 1-day show." She's like, "Okay, we did a 2-day, 3-day show. The last one, I forget what it was, but no good. And we came home with our tail up between our legs, and it's like, ouch, that hurt, But I'm dedicated to cracking Indiana.
Now, I do have a question here because I know that LED is focused, like you said, on the United States, and we're not reaching the United States tonight for the comic book store owners. Yeah. Are there any ideas as far as like a subscription service for folks overseas that want to receive an array of indie books that they can get them every month shipped like that overseas to where, they know they're going to get their books in good, shape? Or is that just something that has to be on the back burner for now and until you guys get everything going?
It's odd that you mentioned that. It's odd that you mentioned it because there is something, its own indie vote. It's called the BuzzBox, which is pretty much identical, I wonder why, to this box, but it's all curated material. So there's no way to kind of pick what you want. It's almost a mystery comic box. You don't know what's in it. And so it's like a mystery comic box on any vote. It's called the Buzz Box. And I think it's $30. But you get a hefty amount of comics.
I was going to say, isn't shipping overseas like really
shipping? Yeah. Shipping is costly for the box, though. Yeah, shipping is costly.
Even with media mail?
Even with media mail, it can be. But a lot of media mail doesn't. Sometimes they don't want to ship overseas because there's custom forms to fill out. If you look at this particular, and the Buzz Box is virtually identical to this. There's a couple of changes and differences, but this box holds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 books. And it's still got room for a couple more. That's 14 bagged and boarded books. So the Buzz Box is a little different. It there's still the same level of care because I created both. But it is that's something that we do, but not through Liberty. Getting it overseas is kind of hard. Now we do have a shipping partner in Canada who is willing to ship these books, but and Terry says minimum 30 shipping, I believe, from US to Ireland. So yeah, the box can get pretty expensive. The Buzz Box can get pretty expensive if you're shipping overseas, but that is an option. And again, Meredith, not quite the answer to your question, the answer to Matt's question, because you can't pick the books that you want.
Right.
But who knows? Who knows what we'll do in the future? We may figure out something. We may figure out a way to crack it and get these books over to people who want them. Because I really do think that comics should be shared around the world, no matter where.
So what you need to take from this, folks, is if you know a distributor in your country that can do these things in bulk, then they need to contact Varian so that he can work out a deal with them, and they can do the buzz box in your local area a lot cheaper, because then, you know, Varian just has to send over a monthly shipment, and then they can send it out locally, and it's just a one-time shipping cost.
Yeah.
But you know, as we've said many times, Varian, and that's really how our paths crossed, was doing these independents kind of online cons. We hate calling them that, but you know, because you guys really push the indie side of things, and we love the indies. I mean, whether it's comic books, movies, TV shows, what have you. And to see somebody that is actually stepping in, because back in the day, man, when like I said, I got into comics in the 90s big time, and I found a lot of indie comics back then. Poison Elves, Wandering Star, you know, Spawn was an indie at the beginning, and Meredith must have just got hit by lightning. And you know, so I have always had a love for the indies, and so for you to be able to foster these relationships with the comic book stores and sending them out, and you say there's no minimum, are you? And you know, you said you can fit 14, maybe 20 if you packed them in there, right? How do the comic book stores go? Because this will replay on our podcast and all of that, which is in the US, of course, and on our YouTube. And so if there's comic book store owners out there that are listening, how do they go about getting in touch with Liberty and getting some of the independent comics in their own stores?
They can hop over to ledg.us. They can pop in there, and there's a registration form up there. It's retailer. They're going to click retailer, and there's a registration form there. When they register as a retailer, within 24 to 72 hours, someone will call you back from our, you know, because you can put your app. You're putting in information saying, "Hey, I want more information." Someone's going to call you or email you, however you prefer to be contacted, and we're going to get you signed up. We're going to get your account set up, and you can be able to order books. You can also call us. From 10 to 5, Monday through Friday at 800-525-2091. It's 800-525-2091. Saturday is different hours. I don't remember the Saturday hours right now. But Saturday you can call us and you know, we can, you know, someone will answer and we can get you set up or answer any questions you have. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be fielding questions all week. I've already fielded some. I've already got people asking me, you know, what are you doing? What do you think you're doing?
I lost electricity. Can you guys hear me okay?
That's what we figured.
I'm streaming from my phone right now. So I'm not sure in the time that I was gone if Matthew asked this of you, Varian, but are you looking for independent comic creators to contact you, or are you looking for publishers, you know, maybe smaller publishing houses and things that maybe have a few titles and not just like individual ones?
Both, any and all can contact us. You know, whether it be the guy who's creating a book on his own or the young lady who owns a publishing company, we want to try to get those books in stores. What we ask is when you contact us, you know, give us an idea of what is you're looking to produce, maybe a link or two to some of the comics that you have, so we can take a look. We are trying to put out, you know, books that we know that are going to move. And I do have something I can tell you guys that we're doing.
Sweet.
That I have not announced yet, but I'll announce it here if you guys want.
Well, absolutely.
No, we don't want it. Of course.
So we have something that one of the partners of the company is heavily for, and at first I gotta admit I was like, I don't know about that, but he said, you know, we're doing this, let's get it done. And the more it was talked about, I think that, you know, it came to that agreement. Okay, yeah, we'll do this, which is the We call it the Liberty Pledge. There's no logo for it yet, but it will be. We'll be showing that soon. I do know what the logo looks like. I don't have it here. So the Liberty Pledge is for retailers, and it should be really exciting to retailers, because what the Liberty Pledge is that if you get any book from us, because we're when we go out for these books and these people come to us, we look at the book and we're looking for quality. If you get a book from Liberty and that book is on, you have not moved there's a portion, there's a percentage of those books starting after 30 days, those books have not moved, you can send them back to us for a refund.
Wow.
So we are putting really, our money where our mouth is if the books don't move. I don't want to see any retailer get stuck with books they can't sell.
See, and that's beautiful, man. That's something that none of the distributors across time have really done.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've personally known comic book store owners, mom and pop comic book store owners, where I would trade work around their shop, electrical work and stuff, back when I could do that stuff for comic books. I get so much credit each week. And I seen just storerooms full of long boxes of comics that they bought from, crossover after crossover with the big two. And then, they would buy 100 of a new indie because it was touted to be hot. And if the writer or the author or the illustrator came by, they might sell a few more copies, but they always ended up with some in the long boxes. And this was pre-internet days back then. But even now with the internet, you can move some online, but having that guarantee to where y'all are going to buy them back after 30 days. Even if, let's say, if the retailer, the store owner doesn't want to do it after 30 days, but after 60, they go, okay, Varian, it's been 60. Can I get a refund then?
They have up to 90 days.
Beautiful.
I believe it's 90 days. I believe. Don't quote me. I believe it's 90 days.
Right.
They have to ask for that refund. I am correct in that, correct?
Yes. It ends in 90, but starts in 30.
So
you only have 60 days.
It starts in 30, ends in 90. So, there's a nice gap of time there. They can say, look, I'm not moving this book.
Right.
The thing is, you might move it. We want you to give it a try. Right. We want you to promote it. We want you to just promote it the same way you would with that Marvel book, the same way you would that DC book, that Image book. Promote it, get it on your shelf, give it a nice position on your shelf. You can't sell a book if it's way over in the corner by the, behind the toilet.
Right.
You can't do that. So put it up there with the rest of them. And but we want you to, if you just can't move the books, you're going to call your rep and you're going to say, hey, I can't move, Popsicle Stick Man. I can't. Hope there's no Popsicle Stick Man out there. I'm sorry, but I can't move this book. You guys got to get it back. You guys, and also, much to one of my partners' chagrin, I got to add this in too. Those books, when you give them back to us, I know currently when you send those books back to us, that's on our dime as well. So, the store,
y'all are eating the shipping.
The store owner.
Well, now, Varian, what about the option to maybe trade it for something else that might be in the catalog?
That's something we haven't discussed, but that could happen. That could be a possibility. They may want to, just get a refund or get
an exchange.
Trade else. Yeah. And it's really just something because I don't want to see store owners get left with books they can't sell. Right. And just because this store owner can't sell it doesn't mean the other one can. So,
and that's one thing that you're really coming at it from the perspective of an indie creator because you also create comic books.
Yeah,
which I think a lot of people don't. I don't think a lot of people know.
I keep that secret. What? I don't want anybody. I don't want anybody being as harsh on my stuff as I am on theirs. So, I keep it hidden. No one can know about it. I mean, just from a creator standpoint, a publisher standpoint, and then knowing a host of retailers, and I worked with these people, and I like my wife will tell you there was a point where there was a local comic shop that it was almost home. I mean, if I wasn't home, I was there and just hanging out in the store, answering the phone on the computer, learning. He really actually helped me because he would let me look through the other publisher of the other distributors stuff, and I would look through their catalogs and see how they had stuff set up. And I'm getting this free education, and I learned a couple things about other indie publishers that I didn't know. That was quite surprising, you know. Yeah. People.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it was really cool. So I really, got this free education, and it really helped me. Phil says needs some of my stuff to review. I'll send you some, Phil.
Yeah.
It's all horrible. It's all horrible stuff. But yeah, I just want, again, I love indie comics. I love the industry, and from Indie Vault to this, just me looking to try to help. One day I'll buy a web press machine and digital printer and offset printer, and I'll start printing the books too. But until then,
right,
how I can.
Well, Varian, we're going to take another real quick break here, but how many listeners on Indie Vault do we have at this point?
Let me take a look over there. Give me 1 second. Ooh. Give me 1 second. I'll check out this. Oh. Okay, there we go. Cool. All right, so you guys right now are sitting at a nice, comfortable 57,020.
Very nice. Well, welcome everyone to the show.
Thank you very much to the Indie Vault listeners. We appreciate every one of you.
Yeah, they are listening, and I'm always happy when I see those numbers. It's scary, but it's happy. And, financially, it's scary. It's man.
Right. Well, and that kind of leads into a couple of little things I'm going to play here. One, I'm going to play for another show you should tune into on YouTube and Facebook. But then I'm going to tell you how you can advertise here with Geek Insider, because we are here every Monday night now, 8 o'clock Eastern on Indie Vault. And so we are around the world, as well as our podcast rebroadcast, YouTube, Roku's coming up. There's just all kinds of things coming with Geek Speak, and we've got a lot of great guests that are going to be coming over the next few weeks. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll be right back with some more from Varian.
This is the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Also catch us on the HWWS Web TV YouTube channel. Subscribe today and become part of the legend.
For Geek Insider advertising opportunities, contact advertising@geekinsider.com. We offer space on the website, in the daily newsletter, sponsored posts, and advertising space on our podcasts. For details, contact advertising@geekinsider.com. That's advertising@geekinsider.com.
So, Varian,
And we're back.
Varian, a question I had for you, man. You see a lot of the indie titles come across your desk. You get a lot of the press releases. What are your, let's say, top 5 favorites that are not your own projects that have come across lately?
Oh, okay. That's I'm definitely on the hot seat. Top 5. Yikes. Okay. All right. Indie books. I'll give you the ones that I'm most excited to see coming.
Perfect.
I don't have in my hot little hands yet. Iva from Finesse Eskander, which I'm really excited for. It better not let me down, otherwise I'm just never going to hear the end of it. God's Hand from Anthony Figueroa, another book I'm excited about, because that Ed has worked on that book for some time, and I've already threatened him. I've already threatened him. So there's I probably gonna get some hate for this, but I am really excited to see Cyberfrog Red Planet. That $1 million book. I'm excited to see how it's gonna look. That's gonna be, every time I see, I don't care about the divisions. That's a book I'm looking forward to seeing.
Gotcha.
There's a it's on the tip of my tongue. Well, I'll tell you another one while I'm thinking of that one. Another book that I'm really excited to see, and it needs to hurry up and come out, is Michael Olden's Pyramid Gambit, because I've been teasing Michael about his Elysian Fields Pyramid Gambit, because he needs to bring Leonidas in. Now he's like, Leonidas would get stomped out by Achilles, and I'm like, no, he wouldn't, Michael, because Leonidas actually existed. Achilles did not. And the other book that I'm really excited to see, actually I just thought about it too, I guess I should, sentimental reasons, is my son picked up a copy of Cat Dad Supermom. Yes. And he really wants part 2 right now. So I want to see that book so he can leave me the hell alone about it.
And we love Rob, and Cat Dad and Supermom is a great comic. I've got my copy right up here in front of the desk. And but there have been just some really great ones. There was a kind of a dry spell there for a little bit on the indie comics, as far as new crowdsourcing or crowdfunding projects were going. There for several weeks, it kind of dropped off, but we are seeing some exciting new projects coming back around. And again, folks, if no matter where you are, if you are part of an indie comic and you're about to start a crowdfunding, get in touch with Varian, or get in touch with Rob Anderson, or with myself or Meredith, because these are the type of projects that we love to back, and we love to talk to the people behind it. Meredith and I like to get that insider type info. And Varian, buddy, we're coming up on the hour mark, man. And you being the guest, you get hit with a question that every Geek Speak guest gets hit with, buddy. And that is, if you could go back in time and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Don't buy that wizard stop. And, I would probably tell myself to keep working, keep drawing, keep working. There were some times that I got discouraged and would swear it off. And I have this joke that the universe wants me in this industry, because health-wise, it kept hitting me with stuff. Like, every time I would say, well, I'm going to get back to the drawing, but I'm going to go work this job for a little while.
I got you.
Oh, okay. Here's a health problem. Sit your ass down in that art desk. And so every time I try to do something else outside of the industry, I get sick and I end up having to sit back down or be, So I think the universe wants me sitting down or at a computer. That's where it wants me. And I'm going to listen this time, because I don't want to know what else it has for me. I know.
You don't want to test that. You don't want to test that. Universe wins.
So I would tell myself,
exactly.
Keep working. Keep your head down on that table. Keep working. Keep learning. And that's it. Don't get discouraged.
Yeah, beautiful, man. And that's something we've had. Again, folks, if you go to YouTube and you look up Geek Insider and you look up the interviews that we've had over the last 6 months, 8 months, that's something that we ask of everybody. We've had Jordana Brewster on and Jay Bruchel, and if you don't know those names, look them up. And we've had
John, Sam Tenez, Joe Hertler in music. Just some really great stuff. And we're trying to get those interviews cleaned up a little bit so that we can get those on Indie Vault as well.
Right.
Because we don't want you guys getting like a copyright strike or ASCAP or BMI coming after your butts either.
Yeah.
And we do. We have permission to play because Joe Hertler and the Rainbow Seekers gave me permission to use one of their songs as a closing on my show, the Geeky, Cheeky, and Downright Freaky. Mm-hmm. And we have to send in the URL every week on YouTube so that we get whitelisted on that. But we do have permission to use that on Indie Vault Radio and the Roku. And so we're looking forward to that. But folks, again, we want to thank you for tuning in to the inaugural show. Going forward, we do plan on having other very special guests. We wanted Varian in tonight because Varian's the reason that we're on Indie Vault Radio and Indie Vault TV on Roku. And then plus, Varian just hardly ever gets interviewed. He's always doing the interviewing.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I'm just.
I just wanted to point out also that if you are watching on Geek Insider YouTube, if you go into the show description, you're going to have the links to all of the Indie Volt. You're going to have the link directly to Streama. So if you're listening on either your desktop or through your iPhone or iOS device, you can listen on Streama. There is also a link to the app and their Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter accounts. So make sure that you guys follow them there. Geek Insider's links are there as well. So I hope you you head over there, check out the description, follow us wherever you can. We appreciate that you do.
And I'm going to throw out a little challenge to everybody listening tonight, because we have tens of thousands of folks listening across the world. And the Indie Volt YouTube and the Geek Insider YouTube are both hovering right around the 500 mark. And as you'll see in our library, we have an extensive library, and Indie Volt is building up. Let's get those subscriber numbers up. Y'all don't realize how much that helps when we're going to advertisers and we're looking at those kind of things that help us keep these shows going. And so especially hit out Indie Volt and the website. Make sure you're following all of that on Instagram and Twitter and all of that. And the same goes for Geek Insider. Varian, tell everybody one more time where they can find information about Liberty and where they can find you, information about your comics and all that good stuff.
Sure. Yeah, you guys reach out to me on Twitter, KYD_V on Twitter. I check Twitter about once every 2 days, so you know. But Liberty, LEDG.US, LEDG.US. You can also find me on Facebook. LastCallComics.com is my publishing company. I go on with my wife, and then IndieVolt.com, which I'm no longer the editor-in-chief of. But that is you can contact Indie Volt, and the fine folks there will make sure that you're scheduled. It's really awesome just being able to sit back there and look and say, oh, not my problem.
Well, and speaking as the executive editor or whatever my title is at Geek Insider, I know how much work that's taken off of your plate, Varian, and I know that the passion that you have behind these other projects is what made you do it. Because I also know that it's hard to give up that control, to give up that responsibility, and we are. Meredith, you popped back in.
I did. I'm out of here.
Oh my God, there's two of them. But we really appreciate all you do over there, Varian. We're definitely proud to be a part of the Indie Volt radio show and the Indie Volt network. We look forward to a long-lasting relationship. And of course, if there's ever anything we can do on our end, just let us know, because we're always here. But Meredith, anything you want to plug before we give the outro? Meredith? Oh, Meredith.
Hear you yet.
I guess not.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't want to say anything anyway. All right. Well, Varian, stick around. Yep, she's bumping out. But stick around, but we're going to call it a night. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We'll see you next Monday night at 8 o'clock Eastern and whatever time zone that is for you.
You've been tuning in to Geek Speak with Matthew Harris and Meredith Loughran, a Geek Insider presentation. Subscribe to the Geek Insider podcast on your favorite listening app and sign up for the newsletter on our website. We also have advertising opportunities through the website, podcast, and newsletter. For details, contact advertising at geekinsider.com. This has been a Geek Insider production. Thank you for listening. Geek out.
Stream.